Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we are glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 11th of June, 2020. And for the 400th time. This is our 400th. No, that doesn't make sense. This is our 400th time with you?
Sure.
This is episode 400, is what I'm trying to say.
That.
I was trying to make it momentous and powerful. 400 episodes. 400. It's crazy. Okay, we'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all of our returning viewers. And a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. You finished school?
No.
For the quarter?
No, I still have the assignment I need to turn in.
Oh, I thought you finished it last night.
No.
When is it due?
End of day tomorrow.
Okay, you have time. It's just a one-page thing, right?
Yes.
And then she's done with school for like 2.5 weeks before your summer classes start. Mm-hmm. Which you'll be doing online. Mm-hmm. Sciencey stuff. Mm-hmm. Get it out of the way. Mm-hmm. What else? I feel like it's lather, rinse, repeat around here. So, well, we have a lot of things to talk to you about today, including we have 5 very special giveaways. We've got something for We've got multiple things for the knitters, things for the crocheters, the weavers. We've got something for the spinners. We've got something for the cross stitchers. We're covering everybody. Oh, well, we don't have any sewing, sorry. But hopefully you fit into one or more of those categories. And so stay tuned for that. But before we do that, we have lots of other stuff to show you. So we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on her needles.
That's right. So, in my fantastic bag from Nerdbird Makery, I am working on birthday socks for my bestie's oldest son, Noah. I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on Ravelry. I am doing a different stitch count because of the size of his foot, and I'm not putting a heel in, so there'll be tube socks so that they will fit him for longer. I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, my 9-inch Zoom Zooms. And I am using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colorways of yarn. So if you want to know those, go to our show notes.
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
And there's a link to my project page, and you can see. So here is sock number 1. This stitch marker is from Tilting Planet. And here is sock number 2. So I'm doing these concurrently. This stitch marker is a Ginger Kitty from Ann Tudor. So I'm doing them concurrently. So I'm doing 10 rows of a colorway on one sock and then on the other sock. And these are halfway done because I'm going to do to 14 inches. Mm-hmm. So before I added this color that I just started to knit on while we're podcasting, I was at 7 inches. So I'm halfway done with the socks. So it's ending up about the 10 rows of each color is about an inch. So, so I might be done with these next week.
Okay.
If not, I'll finish them really closely after we record. So, regardless, that's fine. And then the other thing on my needles is in this kitty project bag from Lizzie Bags. And I am doing birthday slippers for my niece Lola, who will be 12 this year.
No.
Yes. This is the Bed Peds pattern by Yvonne Mendelsohn, but I have converted it to be toe up. I'm on US 5, 3.75 mil, and oh, you know what? I didn't change needle size. I wonder, wait, hold on. I'm looking at my notes here. Well, I didn't use US 5s. I used US 7's 4.5 mil needles for the whole entire thing.
Chunky.
They have you changing needles size for the cuff. I don't think it needs to be.
Okay.
Okay, I used US 7's 4.5 mil needles. And I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Worsted. This is Pea Pod, Creme Brulee, and Conch. And I finished the first slipper yesterday. And I had this beautiful stitch marker from Tilting Planet on it. I might have to rip back the cuff because this is all I have left of Conch for the second slipper.
Oh dear.
So, we'll see. If I do have to rip back, I will figure out...
Change needle sizes?
Maybe, or we'll figure out something with the colors. So, there's that. So 50% done with these because I finished the first slipper yesterday. They're knitting up pretty quickly. I've been doing like 2 colors a day on the days that I work on them. So, that is everything on my needles because I have a couple of FOs to show you. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Okay, here is the first one. This is the Inner Piece Shawl, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. I did this on US 4's 3.5 mil needles. Will you point to the colors? The Pandea's Jewel Snug in the Supernatural colorway, and Suburban Stitcher Sock in the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park colorway. Are you being a cat?
I'm being pink.
Pink got in trouble because she kept walking on this while it was blocking. So, it's a lovely, just a little shawl. I love the little bauble details. There we go. So it is finished. It has been on my needles a long time, but it went into hiatus when Nanny Swemo started.
Oh.
So it was in hiatus from November until Stash Dash started.
Oh.
So, and I was at like 75% done at that point. So, there is that. And then, well, I'll fold it up in a minute. The other thing I finished is my weekly preemie hat. This is number 23 for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. I did it on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Bernay Softy Baby in the Princess Pebbles colorway, and Karen's Simply Soft in the Gray Heather colorway. And I just did a seed stitch pattern on the gray. I posted about this on social media on Sunday, I think, talking about that this is just like a real basic pattern that you can have fun with by, using 2 colorways. You could stripe it with multiple colorways. You can do something like I did with the seed stitch, or I've done garter stitch on that. You can use self-striping yarn. There's lots of different ways that you can make this unique. I know it needs to be trimmed. I don't know. I miss trimming something. You have scissors right there.
Help.
Trim that little thing. So, finished preemie hat 23. So, with the inner piece shawl and that preemie hat done, I am currently sitting at 1,121.9 meters done for Stash Dash. And that doesn't include any of the yarn on the slippers or Noah socks. If you're new here, Stash Dash is a challenge done by the Knit Girls podcast. And it's a challenge against yourself. You choose what goal you want to make.
Being distracted by me.
No, I'm lost words. You choose what goal you want. So I chose 1,500 meters for this year. And when you finish a project, so that inner piece shawl that I just finished, I didn't just get to count the meterage that I did during Stash Dash. Since I finished it, I got to count the entire meterage. So that is what puts me at that place. You can do knit, crochet, weave, and spin for Stash Dash, but I also just did an individual challenge for myself for cross stitch, which we're about to talk about next. So I think let's move on to that next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. What you got, Dammy?
I, again, did not pick this up since last week, but now I've got all the ends done on this Rapunzel pattern by Unique Door Sign from Etsy. This needle minder is from So Happy Mail Bristol on Etsy. This project bag that I didn't have it in, so Pink couldn't eat it, is from Fat Cat Creates, and I'm using a snippety from, there's fuzz flying off it, Catty Cross Stitches. Yeah, and so now I don't know what I'm going to do next, if I'm going to do that cat cross stitch I got last week, or I got one of my embroidery kits that I'll show in the next segment, so I don't know.
Okay. You'll figure it out, and once your paper's done, you'll have a little time to craft.
Time? No.
Yes, before your summer classes start.
Time isn't real.
Time is ticking, keeps on ticking.
What are you stitching?
Time is ticking away. All right, I first up have my in the project bag that's upside down from the 805 Stitcher. I have my Silver Creek Samplers, my Christmas list. And you guys, I finished up to here. So I just have Time for Bed, Angel Singing, Christ is Born, A Gift for All on Christmas Morn. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's all I have left. So, here we go. This week I did Hang Your Stocking.
Hang your stocking? Your stocking, bro. You see, your back looks so nice, and the back of mine just looks horrible.
Look, it mirrors it.
This is art.
So there we go. So I won't work on this week, but I will pick it back up after next week's episode, because I figured out that if I do a section every other week, I'll finish it by the end of Stash Dash.
Nice.
So there is that. In my little Notions pouch from Pearl Girl Buttons, using a snippety. I've got snippeties, I think, in all these projects, from Catty Cross Stitches. I am doing from the Pusheen Cross Stitch Kit. Okay, so
It's so cute.
it is. So right now as we're recording, it looks backwards. So when it processes it, it turns it to the, it mirrors it to the right way. So when I just showed you the back of my Christmas list, on the screen as we're recording, it looked correct to us, or looked mirrored to us. Yes.
Yeah?
So I've done pattern number 1 and pattern number 2 out of this, and I'm currently working on pattern number 3. And I stitch on this during Stitch With Me. Oh, my Christmas list is on a 28 count even weave using called for DMCs. This is on a 14 count Aida that came with the kit, using the 4 colors that came with the kit. So all I have left is just filling in all of this with this tan color here. So
Nice.
I just, it's a good one to work on during my Stitch With Me videos on Mondays. So, okay, so there's that. And then in my Outlander to Better to Sleep bag from stitch toolbox. I am working on okay. I'm working on Hildy Strawberry Patch by Michelle Bindi Stitchy. So it was made into a strawberry, but I am not doing that. So Michelle had sent me this image of it flat before it was made into the strawberry. So I'm doing this, but I've taken this flower and vine and this flower and vine and flipped them and put them down here, and also put a couple of bees down there just to give it a more symmetrical look. And I'm using all called for DMCs, except for one I didn't have. So here we go. This fabric is from Fortnite Fabric. It is January's fabric of the month from the Mushroom Collection, the Alba White Truffle, and it's on a 28 count even weave. So I finished those vines down there and the strawberries and the bees, and I've got the ladybug's head and all of the ladybug's spots, and so now I'm starting to do the body of the ladybug. And I'm doing this as a stitch along with Liz, who's Bent Needle Makes on Instagram. And the hashtag is hashtag Bindi Hildy Sal. Bindi Hildy Stitch Along. Bindi Hildy Sal. So, I totaled up my non-Edinburgh Castle stitches this morning for Stash Dash, and I am currently at 2,820 stitches. I made a goal of 20,000 stitches, and I think I was overreaching on that. So I may need to do some new math and figure that out. Because especially as Edinburgh Castle starts to get more confettied, like I think I used 5 colors this week. Those take more time. It takes longer for me to stitch my 200 stitches on Edinburgh Castle each day, which cuts down on the time I have available to stitch on other stuff. So,
yeah.
But 2,820 stitches completed during Stash Dash. And then finally in my project bag from Knit Run Dig, my Winnie the Pooh project bag, and I'm using the Pattern Keeper software on a Kindle Fire 7. I am doing Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. And as of last week, on the screen right now, you are seeing, as of June the 3rd, I had 10,000 stitches done. And
How about no?
Well, so if you saw on social media yesterday when I posted, you will have seen that one side of the fabric was off of the Q-snap because I had to move the fabric. So you're only going to see just what's in the Q-snap today. But next week, when you see the picture, you'll see the full. So here we go.
Colors.
Yeah. Don't push on it too hard because I've tightened the fabric up. Okay, so this Q-snap grime guard is from Crab Shack Stitchery. And the needle minders are both from Top Knot Stitcher. So as of this week, I have completed 11,400 stitches out of 265,824. That puts me at 4.289% complete. And I finished the second of 60 pages. Yay. And so for Stash Dash, I have completed 4,000 out of my goal of 18,000 stitches. So, as long as I do 200 stitches a day, I will reach that. And I am doing these as tent stitches, so I'm only doing one leg. I'm doing 2 strands over 1.
Nice.
So yeah, I've used 5 colors now. Can you see them all?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've just started using this one, 5. I still have a ways to go before I'm out of blue. Because right now, I am there. So I am still participating in Semi-Sane Stitchers. I am doing the Background Certificates Challenge, which I finished another location. So I finished Sydney Opera House in Sydney, Australia.
Australia, isn't it?
I did 5,110 stitches, which is the total number of days it took to build it. How many years is that? That is a lot of years. Okay, we're going to not even think about leap years. That's 14 years.
Okay.
That is a long time. So I finished that one, and so that puts me at 12 finished landmarks. And I'm working on the Taj Mahal and the Golden Gate Bridge right now because I use a separate location for Edinburgh Castle, and then the other location I use for everything else. My mouse just died. Love it. And then I am doing the Mapping Your Literary Journey Challenge, and I have completed 4 books, and I'm over halfway through another one, and then I've just started another one. So again, I'm using locations, 2 different one book for Edinburgh Castle and 1 book for everything else. Mm-hmm. And then what else am I doing this time around? An Around the World challenge, a This or That Bright or Dark challenge, and the Semi-Sane School Stitching reports. So, those are just all challenges in the Semi-Sane Stitchers Facebook group that keep me motivated to stitch. So, okay, I think that is everything for FlossTube, but we do have some cross-stitch content in Yummies. So you should stick around, and you should also stick around for our 400th episode giveaways, because we do have a cross-stitch prize. So, let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Is pink yummy?
She's delicious. Oh, Mama.
Oh, is Dammy eating you?
Oh, Mama.
Dammy eating you. Say, Dammy, I was sweeping. Don't eat me, Dammy. Don't eat me.
But you're delicious.
Okay. Well, first up, I got fabric from Stitch Me. This is the 28th count Lugana in the color Artemis. Dammy picked the color.
We like Artemis.
It's actually, this is a little truer to color. I'm dropping things.
We do like Artemis.
This is a little truer to color back here. Because I am going to be stitching 3 patterns from the Cats and Mandalas series by Kitty and Me Designs. The designer is Pamela Kellogg. And so this is the November one.
I think she's threatened by their presence.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. These are like 97 by 97 stitches. So about 7 inches.
Oh no!
Oh dear, she ran away. This is May. And
I thought she would just choose one, but she didn't.
This is February.
Because I said, these are the ones I like. And I thought the implication was, okay, you'll choose one. But she didn't.
Well, you know what, Dammy? You only turned 21 once.
I'm gonna knock it back with my cats.
That's right. And when
Get my cat wine! It exists.
There is, who told me?
It's like liquefied catnip, I think.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Somebody was telling me, I don't remember when or where or
Kitty cocktail.
But that they had seen a bottle of wine that the bottle was shaped like a cat.
Meow.
So
Tonight we're drinking straight from the bottle, lads.
So I ordered most of the floss for these from 123 Stitch, but they didn't have all of them, and they hadn't come.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Pink is now sitting. Pink is sitting in my desk chair, which is currently sitting at the Mac Mini, which is what we use to watch TV, but that's also what I use to edit the podcast. And so my desk chair, I wheeled it in here, and she jumped up in the chair.
She's thinking about getting on the table.
She's not allowed. Oh, there she goes. She's curling up. Okay. So I ordered most of the floss for these from 123 Stitch, but they didn't have all of them, and they hadn't come in off back order. So I ordered the remainder from another place, and those ones haven't come yet. But these are the first time I'm going to be using Krynic.
That's a lot of mauve. That's 4 mauves. Oh no, she's spinning in a circle.
And it also is the first time that I will be blending DMCs.
You're gonna what?
So for the heart symbol on this one, you use one strand of 3348 and one strand of 3347.
Why?
It gives it a little bit of a variegated look.
It adds a little, let me add a little spice.
Let's see if I can see, like...
Let me add a little spice.
I'm trying to see which one it is. So it's like the top of the leaves up there. And then the darker heart is like the outside of the heart there.
Interesting.
So that'll be 2 new things for me. Hey, that's what I can use for the our library system is doing 3 summer challenges. One is to read 10 hours, which I've already far surpassed. The second one...
I keep forgetting to record. She's too hard!
Sorry. The second challenge is to read 100 hours, which I'm getting close to 30 hours right now. In 10 days' time. I read a lot. And then the third challenge is to, like, challenge yourself to do something. And you earn entries that you can put into 4 grand prize giveaways they're doing. But also for the 100-hour challenge, you earn a t-shirt if you finish. So that's what I can do is I can say that I am learning a new cross-stitch skill of blending.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's backstitching.
There's not a lot of it, I don't think.
See, you say that, and then you're gonna find like the hidden page of all backstitching.
No, there's not a hidden page of all backstitching. Let's see. Oh, it's like to connect the leaves to the flowers there.
Flowers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just the little lines to connect some of the leaves to the flowers. But I can make that be my challenge. Because I hadn't figured out one yet. So I'll be doing all of these on this. What I did is Brandy, who's the dyer for Bee Stitch Me, I sent her the links to the 3 patterns I was going to do, and she suggested 3 or 4 different colors of fabric that she could do. And then I had Dammy choose. So I'm doing Artemis. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to finish them. So.
If you put them all in little hoops, I can hang them in a little circle. Not a circle. You can hang them in a little line.
I could do that, or I could do something similar to what I'm doing for the Pusheen ones, where I'm gonna get small wooden discs and paint them the pink of the heart and the donut, and then finish them all on there, and then get a wide ribbon and like mount them on that.
And think about it. And just like it helps.
Okay. We will see what we can come up with. So that came, and I love it. Next up, Dammy and I a while back supported a Kickstarter for these knit stitch enamel pens, and there were several different options, but we chose the rainbow pride ones. So they're lovely. And I think the designer is going to do more pins in the future. Mm-hmm. So that will go on my backpack now that I have showed y'all. My friend Yuko from Honeyberry Studios, who makes the just lovely stickers and stationery and cards and notepads and magnets and wrapping paper. Calendar. She did a calendar for this year. Prints, all kinds of prints. Designed 2 different
rainbow
images for and release them this month for Pride Month. So I ordered a couple of these flower rainbow cards for Dammy and I, and I'm actually going to hang mine on the wall. But then she also did stickers of this design, and I've put one on my craft cart, and oh, it's too big to go on my laptop. Like, I was going to put it down, like, next to the pad. I'll have to figure out where I'm going to put this other one. And I gave Dammy one as well. And then the other pattern, I believe,
it looks kind of like a flag, but it's the same flowers.
It's a little bit different flowers, I think.
You said it was the same flowers.
Well, let's look. New. Let's go to new. New. On her website. Linked in the show notes so that you can go buy your own stuff because I love her stuff. The flowers are a little bit different, but similar. But it's in a rectangle. And she's prints of this as well, like larger prints and everything. So, love her stuff and was glad to support that. And then, Dammy, you have a yummy?
Yes. So I got one of my embroidery kits that I got from Etsy. The Etsy shop is linked in the show notes. So it came with this pre-printed fabric, and then the pattern, and then all these floss colors.
Pretty. Did it come with a needle?
Yes. It came with 2.
Oh, good. So that you have a backup. Very pretty.
Yeah.
What kind of stitches does it have in it?
According to this pattern, it's got straight stitch, outline, lazy daisy, and French knots. I know 2 of those.
For instead of doing the French knots, you should do the colonial knots because they're easier.
Okay.
And I just YouTubed it when I needed to do it, and then after I did it a couple times, I had it down. So, yes. Did it come with a hoop too, or did you have to buy that?
Came with it.
Cool. Yep. Very cool. You're still waiting for another kit you ordered, but it's coming overseas. That's why it took so long to get here. Okay, do we have any other yummies?
Nope.
No, I don't think so. So let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. So this month's theme is to go along with the start of our Summer Owl. So the theme is summertime and the living is easy. And plus just a couple, some of our normal prompts. So, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. Yay. It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Today is, I think it's J is 4, not starts with J. Yeah, J is 4. You interpret it however you wish. We're very cheater friendly on this one. And then you post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photo. If you have a private account on Instagram and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles, is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos. And then we can't pick them. So, send her a message, she'll follow you. Okay, upcoming events that I'll be attending, Dammy not, but is Grazing Hills Fiberfest in Viola, Idaho, Saturday and Sunday the 11th and 12th of July. The link to their website is in our show notes, and I'm going to be teaching continental knitting on Saturday from 10 to noon, and Dammy has graciously agreed to be my guinea pig and let me teach her how to do continental knitting for my class. It'll be interesting to do with social distancing, but we will make it work. And I will be at the Soundview Fiber Mill booth when I'm not teaching, and I will have for sale our 3 physical books. Okay. And you're going to autograph them with me ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a ton. I'll have 15 copies of each book. But we had 4 copies already in stock of our 2nd and 3rd book. So, would love to see you there. And I think that is everything for Yummies. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
Drink coffee, read books, be happy. I got a couple new shirts this week. I wore the other one on Stitch With Me this week. So, okay. Dammy, what have you been reading?
So I finished reading Put Them Down for the Quarter, The Dobie Zhuatzi by Richard B. Lee, The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov, and Hamlet by Shakespeare. What am I reading next? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I am also currently reading The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
So are you and your friends still doing the reading group together?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. And then you've got to get books for your summer classes.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, though. They're not up yet.
Is there contact information for the professor?
I don't know.
She's doing these at the local community college instead of through her regular school. So, okay. Well, I know with all that reading that you've been doing, because you had a lot of reading this last week, you got in at least 15 minutes a day.
Yes.
What am I referring to?
The April, May, June 2020 read-along.
Wow. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. And there is a finish line thread in our Ravelry group where you post once and then edit the post. And by participating in the quarterly read-alongs, you earn entries into the year-long challenge. And at the beginning of 2021, we will do drawings for 3 grand prizes. Which we don't have yet put together yet, but we will have probably in December is when we'll pull together the 3 grand prizes. So, okay. All the details for that is in the show notes and in the Ravelry group. Okay, what I'm reading. I'm still reading Fibershed, Growing a Movement of Farmers, Fashion Activists, and Makers for a New Textile Economy by Rebecca Burgess. I think I have 1 chapter left. So, it's been a really interesting read. I also finished reading Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly. And that was definitely a very, very interesting read about women serving as human calculators during the war and then into the space program. Oops, I just split that stitch. So that was definitely a very interesting read. And then I'm continuing my reread of Harry Potter series. I'm reading book 5, The Order of the Phoenix, along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast, and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. Dammy, you want to make a comment about?
Yes. J.K. Rowling has shown herself to be incredibly insensitive and trying to make a victim out of herself in conversations about trans people. I had the unfortunate opportunity to read the thing she posted yesterday called Turf Wars.
I didn't read that.
But yes, she is a TERF, and neither of us stand by her beliefs. So from now on, for her books, we're just going to say that this is Harry Potter, or this is the other series written under her pseudonym, because she is well known enough that you know who wrote Harry Potter. And but I believe that if people want to, people can still be able to appreciate some of her work without defending the woman herself, even though bits of her ideals and ideologies can slip into her work.
I read a really interesting. It was a post by oh crap, what's his name? That played Harry Potter.
Radcliffe?
Daniel Radcliffe on the Trevor Project website about it just earlier, and he was saying some of the same things of being able to appreciate the work and while not supporting the author. So there's that. I am going to continue my reread of Harry Potter. I love the series. I have learned so much in rereading them along with these two podcasts, and I don't know if I have told you this, but there is on both of the podcasts on Sacred Text, the male co-host is gay, and two of the co-hosts on Swish and Flick are gay and married to each other. So I don't know if I had ever told you that. So anyway, there is that. This week's chapter is In the Hog's Head. Swish and Flick has split it into 2 episodes, so I will listen to the second episode next week. So this is the chapter where they are coming together to begin to form what becomes Dumbledore's army, and having Harry teach the Defense Against the Dark Arts to them. So that is what this chapter was. I finished reading City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. It was a really, really interesting book, and I talked about it a little bit, I think, last week, about it is this older woman telling her life story. I don't want to say who she's telling it to, because it that would be a big spoiler for it. But talking about coming from a pretty well-off family, and then moving into New York City, and she does costumes for her aunt's theater, but then she makes some bad decisions, and there's life, and she goes back home, and then she comes back to the city, and it's her life story. But it was really, really well written. Elizabeth Gilbert is the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which was a nonfiction book. But really enjoyed reading that. I finished reading book 4 of the Cormoran Strike series. And this is a series of it's a private detective, and he was injured in the war and lost a leg, and so he and his partner, business partner, solving crimes together. That is the most current book in the series. There is another book coming out, but I don't know that I'm going to read it because of our discussion prior. It was just interesting fiction for me versus Harry Potter. I see in a much different way. I read Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. This was such an interesting book. It is set in Seattle. It's told from the perspective of animals.
Kitty.
There are some kitties in it. The primary character is a
Pigeon.
crow that
Eats people.
is that considers himself part human. He's able to have like conversations with humans.
Yeah, crows can talk.
But then like all of mankind, there's apocalypse, and all of humankind is
Eradicated.
lost their souls pretty much, because they have become so obsessed with technology, and the natural world takes over and pretty much kills them off. But there is some evolution of things, and it's, at first I was like, it was really pretty good. I mean, it's not one that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is 5 stars. But like, I even got emotional in part of it because a main character dies, and
What was it? A giraffe?
no, it was a dog.
No, not the dog.
And I was like reading it last night, and I was like crying. And I'm not even really a dog person at all. I'm not. I'm a cat person. But I was like emotional. Like, you and the Dr. Hubs were both asleep, and I'm like crying reading this. But it was really interesting to have this like apocalypse happen, but the whole story is told from the perspective of animals. So there's lots of crows, but it's all set in Seattle. And so I was like, wait, I know where that is. So, yeah, so it was definitely an interesting read. I struggled to get into it at first, and then I was like, okay, this is just really weird. I've got to keep reading. So, it was interesting. It wasn't like, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was well written, though, from the way that the author wrote it. And then I just started book 7 of the Detective D.D. Warden series by Lisa Gardner, and this is about a female police detective. So, that is everything that I have been reading. And now let's talk about what we've been watching this week.
Yep.
We watched a movie.
Yeah, so we watched a movie, which I think is available for free on a lot of streaming platforms through June.
Yes, I put a link in the show notes to it on Amazon. You have to rent it, but it's free to rent. And you can, I think once you start watching it, you have 48 hours to watch it. So.
But yeah, it was Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. And it was really good.
It was very, very good. It is based on the true story of this guy who was a lawyer for a lot of black men on death row in, was it Alabama?
Wherever To Kill a Mockingbird is set.
I think Alabama. It's been a long time since I've read that. But it's based on a true story, and it was very well done, and it very much is fits in with what's going on right now in the world with Black Lives Matter and everything that's going on with that. Speaking of that, we made a donation of $75 to the NAACP from our Ravelry sales from 8 days. The first, we just started the first, like the 2nd through the 9th, I believe, of June. We rounded up because it was some cents. So thank you to everyone who purchased patterns and ebooks. And we were glad that we could send a donation for the NAACP. Do you have anything else you want to say about Just Mercy? I would highly recommend watching it. I got extremely emotional watching it. It was very well done. The Dr. Hubs and I was rewatching. He was watching for the first time season 1 of the Umbrella Academy, which is is it comic book or graphic novel?
Yes.
One of those. About 7. They're adults now. But each of them have some kind of power, and they were raised together by this eccentric. I don't know, millionaire, billionaire, whatever, eccentric man, and but now the end of the world is coming.
Oh dear.
But I wanted to rewatch it because season 2 is coming out. I believe it's the end of July, so I wanted to rewatch it to prepare for that. Do you want to talk about the next thing?
Yelling. We are rewatching season 9 of Frasier. To season 9 already.
We didn't watch a ton of it this week because you had a lot of end of the quarter school stuff to do.
I'm tired.
Yep, and it's something we're watching all three of us together. But since the Dr. Hubs and I finished watching for him, the Umbrella Academy, we started rewatching season 1 of Psych, which is so funny. And I didn't realize, but Dammy found that it's available for free on Amazon if you have a Prime account, which we do. So we have just started rewatching it. I had totally forgotten that they replaced the original partner for Lassie with somebody else, with like Juliet started in episode 2. So, but it's just I think on Amazon it puts it into the
comedy suspense
category. So, and then do you want to talk about the next thing?
We're watching John Finnemore's Cabin Fever on YouTube, which is an extension of his Cabin Pressure BBC 4 radio drama.
Do we know how long he's going to keep doing it?
No.
No. Okay. And then I'm watching the final season 7 of The 100. We are watching season 7, the final season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
I don't remember if they time traveled or not. G is the Unraveling.
Yeah, it was
told
G.
us where Fitz is.
Yeah, told us where Fitz is.
Or rather, where he isn't.
Yeah. If you want to see that, look in last week's episode thread for episode 399. There's a spoiler in there. Watching season 5, the final season of Blind Spot, and watching season 6 of Good Witch. And then listening to my favorite murder podcast. Oh, I wanted to add in here, I am listening to Brene Brown's new podcast, which is called Unlocking Us with Brene Brown. I was listening to an episode while I was eating lunch. The one I'm listening to right now is an interview with grief expert David Kessler, who worked with, what's her name, that did the stages of grief.
I don't know. I looked it up.
Anyway, I'm listening to that one right now. I listened to an episode with Glennon Doyle. There's an episode.
Kubler-Ross?
Yes. What's her first name?
I don't know. It just says Kubler-Ross model. Elizabeth
Kubler-Ross. Yes. There's an episode with Alicia Keys, with Dr. Mark Brackett, Dr. Vivek Murthy, Sue Monk Kidd, and Jen Hatmaker. There's a 2-part episode with Dr. Harriet Lerner about her book, Why Won't You Apologize? Healing Big Betrayals and Everyday Hurts.
You don't have to go through her entire catalog.
No, but I was trying to get down here to last week she did an episode with Ibram X. Kendi on how to be an anti-racist. And then the episode that
no, I think that I can't remember what the book is that he wrote.
How to be an anti-racist.
I thought that was Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Nope, it says right here.
Oh.
Best-selling author of How to Be an Anti-Racist, and he's the director of the Anti-Racist Research and Policy Center at American University.
Oh, he also wrote Stamped from the Beginning.
Oh, okay. And then the episode that just came out this week is with Austin Channing Brown, talking about I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness is her book. And also Brene Brown, as well as several other people, including Glennon Doyle and I'm blanking on names, but there was 50 white women on Instagram that their Instagram accounts were taken over yesterday by black women to talk about what's been going on.
Like, consensually. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
gave up their platform for a day to allow black women to speak.
Yeah. There's lots of really, really good information out there if you are interested in watching that. And then I'm also listening to random Spotify playlists and Cece's Faves playlist.
Kevin Pressure random Spotify playlists of my songs and resilience playlist is listed in the show notes.
That's right. All right, well, I think that's everything we are reading, watching, and listening to, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August. I forgot what came after June.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Ow. So this is a make-along that runs from the 1st of June to the 31st of August. It is for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to summer. If you can't think of anything, you made it in the summer. Even if you're in the southern hemisphere, we trust you. There are a couple main rules for this owl. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of June, then finished no later than the 31st of August. The other main rule is that each project of at least 20... I forgot my words. The other main rule is that each project of at least 20 yards...
Each project must be at least...
Each project must be at least 20 yards. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post together with other projects that together total 20 yards. For stitching and sewing projects, we leave it up to your best judgment.
Yes.
You can feel free to polydip in other longs that are going on at the same time. That's totally fine. We have lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors. If you'd like to donate one for this or a future owl, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
Can I cut in there? If you participated in the Spring Owl, we've heard from 4 of the winners, but we haven't heard from the rest of the winners. So remember, you only have 30 days to claim your prize. So if you participated in the Spring Owl, you need to watch last week's episode where we announced the winners.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you want to get closer looks at these photos or see where they came from, you can tune into the first-ish podcast of every month or go to our show notes at geekygirlsknit.com. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a ridiculously long hashtag if you want to tag your projects or post on social media. It is GGKCS Summertime 20. The info thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn on the next podcast after that. And any winners have 30 days to claim their prize, or they forfeit it, just like the spring winners.
Yes.
There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can discuss your projects and where I congratulate people who finish projects during the week. And I also do that here. There were only 3 people. DG White, DJ ID, and Knit Fantasy.
Well, we're only 11 days into the month.
Yeah.
So, because we're only 11 days in, you have well over 2.5 months to get your projects finished. Mm-hmm. So, get them done, get them posted, and you could be a prize winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them. She's heavy. She's heavy and she wants to stick her paw in my throat. But the question is tangential to you. So this week's question is from Jane. Who is Janie B? Or is that Nate?
B.
Janie B from the UK. If you were to open a yarn store, what would it be like? The yarns, the layout, classes, knit nights, kitty knitty nights, pink pearl hand-dyed yarn ranges, name of the store. So, for Pink Pearl's own self-titled, your whiskers tickle me, line of hand-dyed yarns, we would just set out a bunch of dies and would see which ones she'd walk to. And then we dye some yarn waste off of that.
Yes, I think she is about to revolt.
And we would name it Pink Pearl's Yarn Palace.
Oh, really?
I don't know, I just came up with it.
We have joked over the years that we were going to have a store that was 3 stores in one. There would be a coffee shop that you would run, a bookstore that the Dr. Hubs would run, and a knit shop that I would run. What do you think? Are kitties allowed?
Only in the coffee shop because we like the coffee. You're gonna... Okay, say bye-bye. Bye-bye, I love you. Sometimes I don't love anyone because I'm stinky.
It could be a kitty cafe.
Yeah, and they want to get their hair in all the coffee.
Hi, baby. Okay. What would I like it to be? I would want it to be open.
Light.
Yeah, lots of light. I would like there to be a nice, comfortable space where people can sit together and craft. I would like there to be a nice range of yarns that are affordable for everyone.
She smells something on the couch and then she went...
I would like to support local fiber businesses, whether they're, a fiber mill, a indie dyer, pattern designer, bag makers, stitch marker makers, cross stitch designers, because we would have cross stitch in the shop too. What's going on?
I thought she was gonna do the thing again.
Her allergies are bothering her. Poor baby. I'm being serious about my yarn / cross stitch
I'm
shop
sorry,
here.
I'm covered in hair.
Well, whose fault is that?
Pink's.
You picked her up.
She chose to shed.
I would like it to be
entirely wheelchair accessible.
I was about to say accessible for disabled. I would like to support makers of color. I would like it to be a space that is open and welcoming to everyone, regardless of race, class, gender, income, etc. I would want it to be a really open and welcoming space.
What would happen on the kitty knitting nights?
Well, that would be in conjunction with the kitty cafe, and you could you'd be able to have coffee and
kitty shaped treats.
And yes, and
I try my best to make some vegan ones, but I'm not doing any vegan baking.
Our coffees should have kitty names, like
espresso
and cat puccino.
Cat puccino. Meow Chiato.
Yeah. Isn't it nice to dream? Yeah.
Meow Chiato.
Yeah. So that would be in the bookstore. I would love to have one of those rolling ladders, like
in Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. And Fraser in Niles' library, he has a rolling ladder. And our favorite yarn shop in Edinburgh, Ginger Twist Studio, has a rolling ladder now. When she redid the shop, she added a rolling ladder. And it's so cool. I want that. Okay, is there anything...
In my dream home, in my big old library, I'll put a rolling ladder.
Yeah. Yeah. In my dream home.
In my little cottage by the sea.
And mountains.
No, just the sea.
No mountains?
I don't need them.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there anything else we want to add to this? All right. Thank you so much to Jane for the question. That was a fun one to dream about. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread on Ravelry and post it. Or, if you're not a member of Ravelry, post it in the YouTube comments and we'll copy it over to that thread.
Yes. All right. Well, it is time for some giveaways, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for giveaways.
To celebrate our 400th episode. Oh, should we stick the picture in here that we're having cake?
Boom.
We're having 400th episode cake because we can.
I made it.
If by making it you mean going to the store and buying it. Okay, so we are going to have 5 giveaways. For all of them, there is a thread in the Ravelry group for each of the 5 giveaways. For the cross-stitch giveaway only, if you are not a member of Ravelry, you can answer the giveaway question that we'll tell you in a minute in the YouTube comments, and we will copy and paste it over to a post in the thread. For cross-stitch only. We will leave these giveaways open for 2 weeks until we record episode 402, and then we'll announce the winners. Do you want to say our 30-day spiel?
Any winners will have 30 days from the day the podcast goes live to claim their prize, or they forfeit it, sadly.
And you must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch group on Ravelry.
Except for the cross stitch one only.
Yeah,
you
to participate. If you're posting on Ravelry in the thread, you must be a member of the group. Okay, so we have 5 giveaways to do. The first 2 giveaways are sponsored by my place of work, Soundview Fiber Mill. So we have 2 giveaways. One of them is for 2 skeins of yarn, and one of them is for 2 bumps of roving. So for each of those giveaways, and there's links in the thread on Ravelry, the where you're going to be entering, you need to go to the shop on the Soundview Fiber Mill website and tell us which 2 skeins of yarn you would like, and for the other one, which 2 bumps of roving you would like. For most of the yarn and roving bumps, there is more than one available of a colorway. Not all of them, but you can choose whatever you want. You could pick 2 of the same color or 2 of different colors if you would like. You can enter all 5 giveaways, but you will only be allowed to win one. So if we draw the winner and then draw your name again later, we will redraw because we want to give this out to 5 winners. So thank you so much to Shireen, who is my boss and the owner of Soundview Fiber Mill, for sponsoring those 2 giveaways. The next giveaway we're going to do is for this. This is from a recent Knit Crate box. And this is 2 skeins of 2-ply superwash undyed sock yarn, fingering weight, 399 yards, 365 meters, 100 grams each, and 2 packets of Kool-Aid to dye them.
Self-start dyeing kit.
And there are YouTube videos that show you how to do this. The question for this one is, what is your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? Mine is grape.
Or off-brand Kool-Aid. Whatever,
Mine is grape. What's yours?
I have no idea.
It's been a long time since I've had Kool-Aid.
It's been several hundred years since I've had Kool-Aid.
Okay, for our cross-stitch giveaway, both of these were donated by Lori, who is Lavisa on Ravelry. We have 2 floss holders.
They're Easter colors.
Oh, you just picked 2 out. So this is what... Yeah.
And they're kind of like this, even though this is just a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
So you just loop them in a little loop around there. And they're really good if it's a project for which you have a whole bunch of colors. Yes.
So we've got that, as well as a cross-stitch planner.
Oh, it's so fancy. Show us some of the inside.
So,
there's a page called How to Use This Book.
Yes, that is very important. There's like little floss card things that you can put like chart symbols. Stitching wish list, graph paper.
Scraps.
Lots of different graph papers.
There are lots of different accounts on there too.
Yeah. Shopping list, work in progress photos, your favorite places to shop, stitching friends, websites, design graph for needlework legend, thread inventory, pattern and kit inventory, time log. There's all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. There's lots and lots of different pages in here. So these together will be a prize. And for this one, you're going to tell us your favorite color of floss, whether it's a DMC or a
Dimensions, Colorworks, Fancy Floss.
A fancy floss or whatever. And again, for this giveaway only, if you are not on Ravelry, you can post your answer in the YouTube comments and we'll copy it over. And then the final giveaway is going to be sponsored by us, and you are going to win all 10 of our ebooks.
That's a lot of them.
That is a lot. And the question to answer for this one is, which ebook are you going to knit out of first? And there's a link to all the ebooks. And for this one, if you are the winner and you already have one or more of our ebooks, you can choose a friend that will gift those ones that you already have too. Mm-hmm. So, those are our 5 giveaways. The 2 skeins of yarn from Soundview Fiber Mill, 2 bumps of roving from Soundview Fiber Mill, the undyed sock yarn and Kool-Aid to dye with from Knit Crate, the 2 floss holders and cross stitch planner, and all 10 of our ebooks. And again, the giveaway threads are in the Ravelry group. You must be a member. We'll leave these open until episode 402. And if you're a winner, you'll have 30 days to claim your prize. Mm-hmm. And thank you so much for being with us for, whether you've been with us for one episode or all 400 or anywhere in between. You know, we say often we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for y'all. So we wanted to just celebrate with y'all the milestone of reaching 400 episodes. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. I'm shorter than you all of a sudden because I pulled my leg out from underneath myself. Well, with that, we have reached the end of our episode. Happy 400. Do we have any announcements? No. I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Nope, nothing that I know of. Well, we would like to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the podcast. We love you guys a lot. Like I just said, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be doing this. But especially to those of you who support the podcast financially, because it does cost money to do a podcast. For example, the prizes that we shipped out yesterday. Mm-hmm. So that's just one little piece of it. If you would like to support the podcast financially, there are 3 ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. I did Patreon rewards over the weekend. Mm-hmm. So if you were expecting a reward, make sure and check your inbox. Dammy, if somebody would like to know more about sponsoring us on Patreon or would like to sign up, where do they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our website first, click on the appropriate link in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes. Do your shopping as normal, and then we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. Mm-hmm. All right, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yes. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely weekend ahead. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy. Yeah. There's a lot going on in our world right now, and I know that in the midst of it, I'm really grateful for crafting to keep me calm and sane. So, I hope that is something that is also soothing your soul. So, and again, thank you for being with us for 400 episodes. And until next week, happy crafting. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Pinky, did you get something at the store? Oh my goodness, what is this? What's in there? Is it something for you in there? Oh my goodness. Oh no, no, no. Don't you bag. Don't you bag. Is it for you? Where you going? Hello. Hello. Do you want to be on there? Are you going to go help Bubba? Okay, bye-bye. Oh my goodness, what did Dammy do? Provisions. Food for the next 12 years. No, for the next 5 minutes. Dammy is dumping the new bag into the container, so she dumped the old onto the lid so that it can go on top and be used. That's what she's doing. But Pink thinks that, oh my goodness, so much food. Oh gosh.